your grandparents immigrated here, and what I've seen is like by two generations out, the culture really starts to dilute. Like people start to lose kind of their South Asian side. But I know you speak Hindi really well. You've retained a love for chai. You spent 6 years as a Kathak dancer.
You've done your research, man.
Yeah, try to. I'm also curious, like in terms of retention, how much you feel has been a result of the things that your parents have done versus your own personality and maybe like a natural gravitation towards Indian culture.
Oh yeah, of course. I think it's definitely a mix of the two. And I sometimes joke, I look at myself versus my brother, and we were raised in similar environments. But like, no doubt, I think I took a liking more to the dance, the Bollywood, the music, the dressing up, like that aspect of culture. I don't think that makes me any more Indian than Shreyans is, but we took our likings to, different aspects. And my parents aren't like that into Bollywood. It was never like in the car ride, we have to listen to Indian music. Like my parents have gone to American concerts because they were born and raised here, right? 100%. I think my own parents were sometimes like, how did we raise a child that like loves? But yeah, so to answer your question, I'd say it's a mix of both.
What are some of the ways that your brother and you are different? Like, what are some of the ways that he's kind of retained it that you feel like you haven't?
So again, I think it like begs the question, what does it mean to be Desi? What does it mean to be South Asian? What does it mean to be brown in 2021? Because if I look at my cousins in India and I look at us over here, I would say everything has changed. And it's no longer, oh, just because I did Kathak for 6 years or just because I was on a Bollywood dance team in college for a year makes me more Indian than my brother who didn't. But I think it kind of begs the question about like values and morals and respect for grandparents and like quality time, family values together. I think there's so many levels to it. Taking care of your parents. I have friends that take care of their parents and grandparents financially, physically at this age. That's I think what it means. You know what I'm saying? I think it's so layered.
I love that. And so I guess I want to kind of focus a little more on Jainism because I know your family is of the Jain faith and
Yes.
you're not particularly religious, but it seems like your relationship with that has evolved over time. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think again, growing up in the Midwest, we were put in like a generic Sunday school. It wasn't like particularly Gen because there was like two Gen families where we lived, but like a generic, Hindu Bala Gokulam, I think was like the Sunday school's name. And then in Cleveland, there was a bigger Gen community and we would go for the weekends, but it felt very like my mom's making me do this. Like, I don't like this. I don't like learning these mantras and shloks and that kind of stuff. So it felt very forced. But at that age, my mom was like, these are non negotiables. This is what we're going to do. And then I spent one summer in Mumbai when I was in sixth grade, and my mom's sister's mother in law, I call her Ma, she kind of really, really taught me a lot about Jainism, more not so just as like scriptures, but like the philosophy behind it. What is the reason why? Like, what is the logic? And I think that's where a lot of it clicked for me. And now, I would say for me, it's kind of like a moral compass. And I think there are a lot of like certain values that my parents have always imbibed in me that I think Jainism really reflects. And that's my relationship with Jainism today.